Hi there, I am Dr. Malimi Kazi. In this video, I'm going to present about the Gerlach and Ely instructional design model. So I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. So this model is one of the oldest model we have, and it offers systematic approach to instructional design with 10 interrelated elements. Also, this model has been used widely in educational system from K to 12 to higher education. And also it support diverse learner needs. And also this model, it focuses on learning outcomes. It really emphasizes having clear goals and methods to achieve desired learning objectives. Another thing with this model is that it is relevant to our modern days, and it is able to be adopted in various instructional settings. Now let us see each of these 10 elements of the model and know what each of these elements need to accomplish. So the first element is specification of content. For this element, you need to provide specification of the content, which need to identify subject matter or skills to be taught, ensuring that the content it is aligned with the learner's need. This element also, you need to make sure that the content is aligned with curriculum standards. And another thing you need to ensure here is to prioritize on learners' goals. So make sure that the content is based on educational goals and the learner are ready to achieve the learning outcomes. The second element of this model is specification of objectives. Objectives need to be specified, which require stating clearly what learner should be able to achieve after instruction. And also, this will help to guide the teaching effort effectively. The learning objectives also should be measurable and aligned to curriculum standards for the specific learners. Furthermore, for this element, you need to clearly define objectives so that you make a foundation for evaluation of performance to see whether at the end the learning objectives has been achieved. Moving forward to element 3, which is assessment of entering behavior. For this element, you need to assess learners' existing knowledge and skills, which will help to tailor instruction to their needs. For this element, you can do pre-tests, survey, and informal assessment to collect essential information to know the prior knowledge of the learners and to know also the readiness of learners to understand the content you want to teach. Understanding interlinked behavior will prevent redundancy and help close learning gaps effectively. The next element is about determining strategy. Strategies are selected at this stage based on learning objectives and characteristics of the learners. Also, common strategies can include lectures, discussion, inquiry-based learning, etc. The strategies used should align with the learning goals. Now, effective strategies will enhance learning engagement and improve learning outcomes by matching with instructional needs. The next element is organization of groups. At this element or stage, learners can be grouped in small groups, or maybe in pairs, or in groups of maybe 5 students, depending on the size of the class. This will allow collaborative project to enhance learning, to help students to learn from their peers, and this can deepen understanding among students through interaction among themselves. Groups also can help to shape classroom interaction and also can help to manage the usage of the space you're using for learning. It can also help with time management, which will lead to effective instruction. Now, proper groups organization need to accommodate diverse learning styles and encourage effective participation. Moving to the next element, which is allocation of time. At this stage, you need to allocate time according to the complexity and importance of each introduction activity or to each element or to each subtopic within the content you're introducing or you're presenting. There is a need to effectively balance time to ensure coverage of all content intended to be presented. Proper time management can facilitate smooth transition and also can help to vary instructional methods. Also, managing time will help to keep learners engaged and will allow achievement of the instructional objectives within the given time. The next element is allocation of space. Here we are talking of physical space arrangement. Now, it is important to rearrange desks and seats to support group work and promote learners' collaboration and interaction. If you're using a virtual space, which may be online class, now virtual spaces should be designed to facilitate engagement and interaction among learners also. So you can still allow online environment to have interaction, space for learners to interact among each other. Now, proper space allocation can help to enhance accessibility, comfort, and overall effectiveness of the learning activities. Also, careful space planning aligns with instructional goals. This will improve learners' engagement and the effective use of available resource. The next element is selection of resources. Here, resources can include different things. So it can be maybe furniture, maybe electronics device, and it can be software and computer applications. Now, it is good to consider that when selecting resources, you need to ensure that those resources can help to achieve specified learning objectives. Effective resource can help also to differentiate learning styles and can help to adapt to varied instructional contexts. High quality resource will enrich learning and help to achieve educational objectives as specified on the area element. The next element is evaluation of performance. Here, learners are assessed through test, project, presentation, portfolio, etc. to see whether they have achieved the learning objectives. Evaluation should align with learning objectives, and these can provide clear insight on the learner's achievement. It is good also to use rubrics, which will help to have unbiased assessment of learning. Evaluation should inform grading, instructional decisions, and should help to identify improvement area and support accountability. The last element is analysis of feedback. Analyzing feedback can help to improve future instruction by identifying strengths and also weaknesses in teaching approach. Both formative and summative feedback are very important to help instructional to be effective. Feedback analysis can promote continuous improvement and reflection on practice, and also can inform decision. Moreover, feedback can encourage adaptability and responsiveness in instructional design to meet learners' needs effectively. Now, in conclusion, the Gerlach and Ely model provide comprehensive and flexible framework for designing instruction. And it support media-rich, learner-focused teaching that adapts to diverse educational needs. But also this model encourage continuous improvement through systematic feedback and evaluation. And finally, this model is dynamic, integrating the model element can help to foster responsive environment and can enhance student success. The elements of the model are interrelated. So some of the elements, they depend on each other, and changing one element can lead to changing the next element to make them aligned to each other. Thank you so much. I will see you in next video.